We're gonna do up gaming music. I'm like, sorry, the lighting's so bad. I don't feel like this place. But I played Madden 27, at least early access. There's some good, bad, and even worse. I'm gonna start with the good. I like the way the contracts work out to some degree. I, they did flavor up the recaps better. They added more to it. Now you can do a recap all the way to the end in the beginning of off season. And then you're going before you could only do it up until the playoffs. What else is there? It appears they did fix the draft when you do fantasy draft, where they do keep track of what you drafted. So far, from what I see, the only issue I have a lot of issues. That's the only good thing I can say about it. Everything else is the I'm just not even gonna rank. That was the really good parts that I can rank. Now, what I'm about to say next. What's next? It's technically Madden 26.5. It's literally that, except for slightly better defense, not a full big difference in defense. It is nothing like they advertised at all. People are not finding work. What they need to do is go find something. The only work they trying to find is the unemployment line, because freaking meaning they can't tackle the halfback to save their life. The halfback can just run all over to everybody. I found running the training cap for running backs is like the most easiest thing on earth. You literally don't have no competition. Everybody plays like they trash, like garbage. Like nobody can apparently can't. They don't know how to go after the halfback. They're allergic to the halfback. Apparently they got allergies, and it's called allergic to halfback-itis, because getting the defense to actually tackle the halfback is like getting the zone defense to play zone defense. I'm not very good. I'm not like Bob Monson on. I just come up with random comparisons out of nowhere. So much like getting them to find the cure for cancer. Like it's never not going. That's not going to happen. Tackling is iffy on and off, if at best. The game crashed on me 3 times. One time for no reason. You can't edit the players, but to a degree, without it will crash when you try to edit the contract. It will crash on you for trying to do that. For some reason, it can't handle you editing the contract without it crashing back to the main screen. Salary cap. Let me start with that. One of my favorite things. I could tolerate the salary cap being on if I can edit the players' contracts manually, so I can still afford them. Yeah, I know I'm not one of the people who play like we're gonna watch my dollar bills and all this stuff. I don't like doing that. Ever play with the contract off or edit the contracts? I don't really be paying that much for them and still keep them. But the salary cap being off for some odd reason or another, after maybe a couple of years of playing it, a couple of years in the franchise, it starts acting as if only during the research. Weird thing, it only happens during the re-signing period, where you're trying to re-sign your players, because it resets at the beginning of season, or after it resets after the re-signing period. So what I mean by that is it'll say you don't have calorie salary cap space, even though you're not playing with salary cap on. It don't even make sense. You're not even playing with salary cap on. So what are you talking about? So, it doesn't know. It has no idea what it's doing. There's a type of salary cap bug. The only thing that seems to have solved the coaching problem where the coach doesn't get automatically fired. Like Madden 25 had this coaching bug, and 24 also had it, where the coach would automatically fire himself for no reason, and it never got fixed. Never got fixed. They never fixed it. The coach, there was always a workaround. You have to fire your coaches and then rehire them again every year. You had to do that every freaking year. You had to do it, but not every year. After 4 years, you would have to start firing your coaches and rehiring them, because these people don't do this stuff to make sure there's no bugs in the game. They don't play farther than a year. Like, I think with the people they hired to play test these Madden games only played the first year of franchise, and if they run into a problem, they say it's good. No, you need to play like at least 5 years before bugs started showing up. Like, they need to force them to play 5 years of franchise mode to check for bugs, because after 4 years of coaching, you start running into bugs. And I'm not talking about roaches. They start running into bugs. But we're talking about 27. I crashed 3 different times, maybe more. One time for no reason. I was just sitting around. I forgot I was distracted. I wasn't playing the game. Next thing you know, I looked up I'm at the main screen of my Xbox. I saw what the heck happened. It crashed from me doing nothing. I mean, I think it was this. It crashed for me doing absolutely nothing. Just sitting there, it was just sitting there, and it crashed at random. And then it crashed when I was trying to edit. Like I said, it crashed when I was trying to edit players. Then it crashed when I was trying to sign a player. In the middle of negotiations. Oh, and it also, fourth time it crashed. I found out, I remember the fourth time is when I tried to go in to talk to a player that I was supposed to talk to. And it showed up as the dead end of the season, so that didn't make sense either. So when I went to talk to the player, it said, you can't talk to enter into negotiations with this player, and then booted me. It didn't boot me back to the main screen. It booted me back to the title screen. Outside the franchise mode. Like, are you kidding me? Already, and the game not even out yet. And yep, it's gonna be problems. I already think people gonna be like, this game sucked. It's got too many bugs. It keeps crashing every 5 minutes. Like, yep, I told you, don't buy Madden straight out first time it come out. Don't buy it. Guarantee you it's gonna be buggy. You ain't gonna like it. You're gonna ask fix Madden. I'm 27, because whoever gets these games early must get a more polished game than most people get, because it don't be doing none of the stuff for them. But apparently either they are lying or game. When we play it, when normal people play it, it got all kinds of bugs. But when certain people on the internet play it, they act like it don't got no bugs. And you don't crash on them. So he must got some type of special system or something that keeps their game from crashing or something. I don't know. Either that or they're not telling the truth. Because I crashed like 4 times in franchise mode by itself, and I was only in year 3. So either they're only in the first year where everything played perfectly fine, which is probably more likely the case. And then it's more likely because these people don't play more than a year in franchise mode, so they don't get to see the bugs that most of us who play more try to get the whole full 30 years to see. And I only had 10-hour trial, so be that as it may, 10 hours ain't a lot. 10 hours ain't a lot. Ain't a lot of time. It's long enough to get a feel for the game. I might wait for it. I might dare say I wait until it gets on EA Play. I remember, was it 24 or 25? 24 or 25 came on EA Play super early. Like, it was super early. It was like, what, 4 months? It was only 4 months and the game release was already on EA Play. Yeah, that's how bad the game did. Like, you know the game got to be bad. It's up on EA Play for 40 years. Like, yeah, they're gonna have free. They're gonna definitely have free play days where it's gonna be on EA Access. You can play it for unlimited amount of time until they pull it off again. Like teasing you, they're trying to tease you until you can play and get go and buy it, right? And waste your money. There probably gonna be some updates to it where they modify the defense to play offense or whatever. They'll probably nerf the tab back a little bit so they don't break almost every tackle under the sun. But I won't know my breath for them to do that. When you have a company that has a monopoly, they don't try that hard to provide a good game. They don't do it. they just don't do it. All they care about is if it makes money, and if it don't make money, how to have it make money without having to worry about its performance. But that's really all I gotta say about Madden 27. I will probably not buy it. I thought about it. To be honest with you, I strongly had the urge to get it, and then I remembered if I get it, I'm gonna regret getting it later, because I know for a fact it's gonna piss me off. It ain't gonna piss me off as bad 26 did, but it's gonna piss me off. I can't stand the way I like. Oh, there's one thing I like including the coach mode. Coach mode. It's kind of boring. It's only two. Ryan Moody was right. There's only two cameras, two angles. Sideline and high above sideline, like overhead sideline. There's only two, and they're both suck. Neither one of them were good camera angles. They could have added more camera angles to that. Like, keep it the way it was when you're playing the game. Like, camera angle. Like, right behind the offensive line. Looking at, or have it do like instant replay. It follows the ball. Like, no, that's too much work for EA to do. If you're going to do it right, do it the head coach way. When you're doing head coach, you're playing a play. It plays like normal play, and like you're playing, but you're just watching your play out. But they need to get it together. Not to say to get it together, they ain't gonna do it. Not long as they got a monopoly. And NFL ain't gonna get nobody else big in NFL games. For some freaking reason, all NFL cares about is making money. If they make money or profit of any kind, they don't care about competition. Competition puts the trains on their pockets, okay? They're still mad about 2K selling their games for $30. They're still mad about that for some reason. It ain't like it was hurting their pockets. $30. They figured that they see that was an insult to charge $30 for a game they value very highly. Yeah, they were. I don't know. I'm kind of. Players might find that okay because it's $30. It makes it cheap, but you gotta think about it from a person who's thinking about selling games. You made a game based off your highly popular sports in America. And 2K said, "Oh, this is only worth $30." You know what games are also worth $30? And indie games. Okay, good indie games are usually around $30. They usually don't charge that much. But this is not an indie game. This is a U.S. made NFL game. It should be $60 if it's goodly, if it's made well. Why are you charging? And that, no, back in the day, the most expensive game would probably be like $50, but it should be a $50 game. It shouldn't have been no $30. That was an insult. They don't know what they thought they were doing. They figured that since they're making, they gotta compete with EA. Okay, they could have made it $45. Be $5 cheaper than their competitors that they people come buy their game. They need $30 from EA. They ain't do it to insult EA or NFL. In spite of NFL, but NFL didn't take it that way because they're clowns. Everybody knows that's how competition works when you're dealing with games in your small company, smaller company or whatever, and you're trying to compete with a bigger one. The best way to do it is to lower your prices and to get them to, you probably make the same amount, but you have to buy more copies. Now, we don't know if that was a positive, a good idea to begin with. Did they make more money doing it that way, or did they make less money? That's really what you had to ask yourself in the games. But this is about Madden 27. How many of y'all? I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it straight. Wait for it. I'm gonna wait after the week. I say this, but knowing me, after playing it for me, nah, I don't know. I'm quite impressed, and that is right. Slightly better than Madden 26. No, and that's not saying a lot. Okay, I didn't like Madden 26 defense because there was actually none to speak of. There was nothing to speak of to begin with. But no defense to speak of, so like there's features in the game that's in there. Which leads me back to the contracts. It doesn't matter. Remember when I said that you can talk to your contract. The software is revamped. It's no longer usual. You just click, tell them what contract. It's technically that way, but then you offer them a contract. They may automatically agree because it determines how much you charge. I mean, how much you offer them. If you offer them enough money, they'll automatically sign. Bro, even think about it. Most of the time, they won't answer in negotiation and pick all these options, whatnot, and 99.999% of the time they will resign. Don't matter. It don't matter if they don't matter if they don't like you. They don't matter. It doesn't matter if they're frustrated. It doesn't matter if they want to leave. First of all, there are situations where the player will get frustrated with the team. They'll want to leave, and they'll actually ask to be traded. You can ignore it. Ignore it altogether. It's not like they're not going to play. As far as I can see, there's no actual consequences for not trading them. I have not seen any consequences for not trading the person that asked to be traded. You can ask to be traded, you can acknowledge it, but you don't have to actually trade them. Not like, oh, he refuses to play or something like that. We haven't seen that yet. Of course, we did put him in, and his attitude did improve once he started playing. like that. From when I played, there's another thing that particularly pisses me off with this 27 game. They still got that problem with the roster where people, the UI will sign players to your team you didn't sign and release people that you didn't ask to be released. Good thing is not good people. I'll really be mad. But you will find when you're playing the game, anytime, not even year 1, year 2, year 3, no matter, you will find, when you're looking at your roster that some people have been released, you won't find a player on there that you didn't even sign. Like, you have, and you look in the settings and you look down and you scroll down and you find out your field roster is off. That means it shouldn't be doing that, but it still does it anyway. Yeah. And I've had that happen a lot. I think I've had people, it actually automatically draft people without me drafting them, and I know I didn't miss a draft time. And the draft timer's off, so it couldn't have drafted people by it because the time ran out because there's no draft timer. Stuff like that is, people say, this is not nitpick. These are annoyances. Like stuff that's still, how's that still in the game? Problem in the game you got told to fix. Wasn't there an option in Madden 25 or something like that, 26, where there was an option specifically for that specific problem where the computer wouldn't add people to your roster without telling. It is nearly like I remember when I said about the ad back, it nearly be impossible to stop them. It's that way in the game too. It's that way in a lot of games. I was watching out there in coaching mode, and I don't know how many times the halfback was able to bust out 20 yards. I was able to do it. The computer was able to do it. Bust out 20 yards. No cut. Busting through contact like they're bowling pins. They would get hit and no, he wouldn't go down. He was like a tank, like just tanking people. Like they don't know how to they don't know how to attack on this walking animation. Boom, boom, and then they finally bring him down after him making 20 yards running. If they make it 20 yards, sometimes they'll go all the way to touchdown line because they can't stop him. They can't touch us. Can't touch. Like they forgot how to tackle. They forgot tackle fundamentals. All this talk about how innovative the tackling is gonna be and blah blah. I said it's the same damn game and worse. I told you every game, every daggone game from here from 10 cut to had a exploit. Every last one, like exploit. There's always one position that did very, 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 very well above all the positions. Last year, quarterbacks. This year, halfbacks. 25. I forgot. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna remember. But I'm pretty sure it was also halfbacks. I remember early on in Madden 25, you could run the ball like it was nothing, especially straight down the middle. That every game, matter of fact, wasn't it every game? That was always the case. The halfback always able to run through people, and then all of a sudden, the next 2 updates later, all of a sudden the halfback can't run through nothing. They overcorrect, and now the halfback can't break a tackle to save his life. Now the back game. Watch. I'm going to call it right now. 3 updates after the release of 27. They're gonna change. They're gonna calibrate the game, and the halfback no longer be able to break through 10,000 tackles. He'll be lucky to break through one. I'm calling it right now. The offensive line will still be the same, where you can't freaking throw the ball. because everybody breaks through the offensive line like paper because nobody knows how to block. Nobody knows how to block. Defensive ends will be just bulldozing people to get to the quarterback, but can't seem to bulldoze and get the halfback 0% of the time. But the 10-hour trial convinced me to get this game. I'd be lying if I said hell no. It almost did. It almost did. If it wasn't for the 5-time crashing, if it wasn't for the salary cap bugging out, I might have been convinced to buy it on day one. But because of that, I'm gonna hold off. I'm not gonna rush to buy it. But like it does last year, I did not buy it. I bought it 36 once and then returned it because I bought it once and returned it because it was pissing me off. But this time I ain't gonna do that. Either I'm gonna wait for a sale when it's down half off or something like that, or on Black Friday, or wait till I get to a point where it's negligible. And then I can trade it in later. Okay. If it gets an update and it fixes half the problem, like the salary cap problem, it fixes some of the issues in the game that's in the game. The editing issue, the editing clash. I might crash. I might consider it. But dude, I'm gonna wait to see what the people say about the game after it comes out. Because from what I saw from the early access trial, I can't get my words out. It's okay. I mean, it's not. It's slightly better than 26. If I had to choose, if they told me which game I'd rather play out, 26 or 27, I'd say I'm 27. Hands down. Because 26, they got no defense. At least 27 pretends to have a defense. 25 at least has some form of defense. Yeah. And watching the games play out is entertaining to a degree. Yeah, there'll be sometimes where they blowing teams out because whatever, and we can tell the randomization in the Super Sandwich, how it simulates that it somehow the game predetermines the outcome before the game starts. Before you start the game, and it plays out in that scenario. What I mean, my theory is when you play 25 and you go back 25, you start the game and you play, you super sim it and you sit slow. They simulate the game on a predetermined ending and predetermined score. That's why you have people being blown out, or it being a tie, or it being a close game. It depends on what the number they came up with at the end is. So whatever the game ended as, this is exactly how they planned it up being with. So that's what I'm saying. Proof is I did my hypothesis. I was playing, I see what's in one of my games, right? And I was getting blown out. And that's because the AI cheats. Every maybe 10, 20 games, the AI will cheat to win and let a smaller losing team win the game. Or attempt to win the game, whatever. What I mean by cheating is that they'll automatically become geniuses at the game of football. Out of nowhere, they'll become geniuses. They have nobody on their team that's good. Remotely good enough to beat your 99 team. There is nobody in that team that should be able to beat this team, come close to beating this team. They should be getting blown out. But because the AI cheats, actively cheats against your team, to come out with a predetermined score where they blow you out for some odd reason. That don't even make no sense. You'll see it when you're actually actively playing. That all of a sudden you can't find an open receiver. Suddenly, the CPU knows every throw you're going to throw before you throw it. Hey, all of a sudden they know you're going to run the ball. They know exactly what to do to prevent you from getting any yards. Actually, that's not actually true. That would be the only thing you actually can do. The only thing you can actually do in that game when they're cheating is run the ball. Because they're so busy actively cheating you against the pass, they make you one-dimensional. And then when that starts working, you can't throw it to nobody. Because everybody's going to be all of a sudden magically covered. And you might maybe get 3 or 4 passes to a receiver. All short. And they instantly tackle you. But we're not talking about 25, we're talking about 27 here. I'm already done finished talking about 27, really, to be honest with you. That's all I really had to say. Because I only paid 10 hours of it. So, like I said, I'll probably wait on it. I'm going to tell you, I suggest y'all wait on it. I suggest y'all wait until they get a few more fixes in this game. The halfback is too OP. I don't care who's the halfback. It could be Samuel L. Jackson. He's going to run 20 yards. Guaranteed. At least 3 times that game. Maybe more on him. Depending on what play he runs. If he runs straight down there, he's going to run 20 yards. If he runs outside, he's going to get a touchdown. Nobody can catch freaking tackles the halfback in this game. As I said this repeatedly. Even in practice drills, I had no problem getting to answer. None whatsoever. Seemed like everybody was running in slow motion. I was playing a drill with my halfback, and yes, he might have been 99, but that's neither here nor there. There's no way for him to not be able to catch this dude. I know it's only 2 of them, and 4 defenders, and none of them can catch him. Like, come on now, get out of here. There ain't no way he's going. Anyway, that's my take on Madden 27.